In preparation for the draw for Euro 2016, we've highlighted some teams for your viewing pleasure. Ewan, let's start with yourself. Albania are an interesting one. They've got a good away record in the qualifying for the Euros, of course. Do you think they could surprise people at the tournament?
14 points in their group.
Beat Portugal away.
1-0, kept a clean sheet, obviously. They're organised, they're hard to break down, and that's what they're going to have to be like when they go to France. But I'd be quite happy if Wales got Albania in the group.
Jerry, do you think that Northern Ireland, if you played someone like, you drew someone like an Albania, you'd think, oh, we've got an unknown quantity here, or as Ewan says, you think, hang on a minute, we've got a chance here?
Just on past history, you've got to fancy yourselves against an Albania, but on the flip side of that, not knowing what they're all about could be a problem because, you know, it's easy to mark out the major countries where their strengths and weaknesses are. When you come into Albania, your Albanias and teams like that there, and even Iceland, to a certain degree, as you said, they're an unknown quantity, so you don't know where their strengths and weaknesses are. They've got an Italian manager, Albania, and so he's obviously brought that Italian style, you know, be hard to break down and hit teams on the counter-attack. So that could be a problem for a few teams who take them lightly.
And Loic Sanner's obviously their captain. He's certainly one to watch playing for them. Austria, I mean, they've had a very impressive qualification campaign, and Alaba, of course, the Bayern Munich player, who often plays in the central midfield. Such a versatile player, and a man we know a little bit about in the Premier League. And out of it.
Yeah, I do quite like him. He seems to be somebody who's he's got Ibrahimovic vibe about him. He's got a real kind of like swagger about him, but. Alaba, like you say, you know, he plays left back for Bayern Munich. He plays centre half. He plays midfield for Austria. You know,
he's probably one of the best players.
I think they can surprise a few teams.
Well, I think so as well. I do definitely.
They've come through a tough group. Russia and Sweden, won 9 of the 10 games. We've got a lad up front, Janko, I think his name is, 7 goals in 9 games. They could be a surprise, I think.
Yeah, definitely. One side, Kevin, who will be, well, dare I say, maybe looking to even win the tournament, will be Belgium. They've got packed full of quality. I mean, they have underachieved, although getting to a quarter-final of the last World Cup was seen as an underachievement because they never really got out of second or third gear.
No, but the thing is, it's with Belgium, they're like Holland.
Yeah.
They argue amongst themselves.
But if they could eliminate that on the pitch, they've got one of the best spines in world football. Courtois, Company,
quality, Hazard,
De Bruyne,
Fellaini,
Lukaku, Benteke.
Unbelievable going forward. And they've got to look at it as being one of the sort of outside favourites.
Would you put them outside favourite or one of the favourites?
No, you put them outside favourites. Okay. It's just because of the fact that they haven't been in and around it for so long, and then all of a sudden they've got this generation of players that have all come together at the same time, and they're all doing pretty well in their clubs. But you just feel that the pressure of going into a tournament like that and seeing it through and beating certain, you have to wonder how they're going to deal with it because they haven't dealt with it before.
I just wonder how happy that dressing room is because, like we've just spoken about, so many big egos in there, and they all think they're world-class players, and sometimes you can have too much of that.
True. But then if you saw the scenes when they qualified and they were singing with the fans and all...
They've not beaten us in our last 3 games against them. We beat them in Cardiff 1-0. And deservedly so.
But Wales are a good side these days, lest we forget. What about the hosts themselves, Jerry, France?
Well, we all say the first game's important, and right, we all know that.
Yep.
But I think if they have the qualifying stages, or the group stages, should I say, or the finals, if they do well in that, then I can see the momentum building throughout the country.
Sure.
The country then get behind them, and then you know, the building will head of steam up, bang, and then going. That's where they'll go all.
They're a young nation as well.
They are.
They are a very young nation.
That's true.
You know,
they'll be one of the favourites, and Kev, Germany will obviously be perhaps the favourite.
Oh, definitely. I mean, what I've seen with Germany, and I know Scotland gave them a good second half in the first when we opened the campaign up against them, but they're just phenomenal. I think that defeat to Poland woke Germany up. You know, they thought, right, okay, we're going to stroll it now. Poland showed them it's not going to be like that, but Germany are a competition team. There's no doubt about it. They've got themselves there now with good ease at the end of it. They're there, and for me, from start to finish now, I think Germany are going to be outright favourites for me.
What if England drew Italy in the first round? Because the Italians are a funny side. They obviously did that in the World Cup, and Italy just got the better of England.
They scraped, didn't they? They kind of like.
England had a friendly against Italy, and England in the second half certainly looked quite good.
They looked better
They did look better.
Looked better, but with Italy, like we've said already, they're not bothered about playing teams off the pitch. They'll just stifle you. Yeah. nick something on the break, take the 1-0, move on, and slowly progress in the competition.
If you want Italy, you want Italy in the first game.
Absolutely
You want
right.
your first game to be against Italy.
Yeah.
You don't want them
Just like
Because
England did in the World Cup and lost.
Yeah,
You don't want them
you
at stages.
What about Spain? Jerry, they were the best team in the world, hands down, for that 4-year period. You know,
Yeah.
whereas obviously declined sharply at the World Cup with that loss against the Dutch. Can Spain bounce back and actually put in a
I
performance?
think they're going through a transitional period. I think when you look at some of the players they had when they won them 3 tournaments, they're not the players they were.
Yeah, but Kev, I mean, it's still Spain. They've still got a ridiculously good squad.
No, because they've got older and their legs aren't the same as what they were. When Spain won the Euros, won the World Cup, they'd done everything at pace. Everything was 2-touch, 3-touch maximum, every single thing. You lost the ball, they got that ball back. It's the old kind of Barcelona theory.
Sure.
Everything was won back quickly. They don't do that now. They don't get it back as quickly. So they've lost that little bit of pace, which teams are finding the gaps now.
Well, a fascinating tournament will ensue in the summer, and no doubt all the aforementioned teams will put in a good showing or two.